I love the episode when they taped off the house.
Yep, that was. I love that.
Like, that was such a good episode.
Yeah, that was so good.
It was so fun.
02 was just like, fuck this line.
Yeah, yeah. 02 was like, hey, this is lame. The girl was like, you have to join us. She was like, all right, I got shit else to do.
And then proceeded to instigate
she just
everyone.
Fucked it all up. I was like, oh, this is so good.
It's Otaku Time!
Hey.
What's going on, friends? Welcome back to Otaku Time, the show where we talk about anime, manga, and all things otaku. I'm your host, Dom, and we have our two normies, Strolly.
Hi.
And Marley.
What's going on, guys? I got a different hat.
Yes, Dragon Ball Z hat. It has nothing to do with the anime we're talking about today, which is Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah.
Sick transition, dog.
Yes.
Yeah, it was lit.
It was good. How'd you feel about it, Dom? We never get your opinion on these things.
You don't need it.
Damn. I was gonna say usually it's at the end of the episode. And then you don't. Fucking savage.
Fuck my opinion.
Yeah.
I think up until like episode 19-ish, it is fantastic, and then once like the Virum people start showing up, and then it like diverges into a random space thing with like no connection really to like who were supposed to be the antagonists up until that point, and like Ape and Papa and stuff like that. It just turns into random space being who like assimilates other planets and become like one thing majig. It's like, what does this happen? I have so much more interest in this other stuff happening with the rest of the people and stuff, and then you just bring in this new stuff. It's like, all right,
Now I'm disconnected. As with most Trigger shows, they reach a point where it's just like, what?
Yeah.
How the
I was
fuck
about
did
to
we
say.
get here?
They triggered it.
Yeah, they triggered it.
they pulled a trigger.
I've been triggered.
Yeah. Yeah. I like was expecting that to happen.
Yeah.
Like something like that to obviously to happen. Like, I expected some sort of timey-wimey space shit to happen and be like, what the fuck is going on here? So like when it happened, I was like, all right, well, we're here. Okay.
Which I agree. Like the story and everything up to that point was like so good. Like just the story-wise and like how pretty almost put together the whole series was up to that point is really good. It's probably like one of the better standout stories from Trigger at this point. Like that they've animated.
Yeah, like the story behind the parasites and was it the farm? Is that what they called it?
The garden.
The garden. That's what it was.
That's where
Yeah.
they made the babies.
Yeah. Like the story behind the garden, and then like you get the little like small little like 10-15 minutes whatever with like the old lady and her husband, sort of, I think, I'm not sure, but like all the lore behind like the actual human beings that were still there was pretty tight. And then even, you know, when you start to learn 02's backstory and why she's the way that she is and why she's attached to Hiro, right?
Darling.
Yeah, Hiro's
My
so much.
darling. I actually really loved them. They made me so happy together.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh man, every time, and I was like, yeah, Zero could get a little sensitive, and Hiro could be a little bitch. It was so good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of feely good moments in that.
Hiro doesn't deserve 02.
He doesn't. And 02 deserves better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like me. Us. Okay.
Okay, better.
No, it was.
Use me, 02. Take my soul. I did really like this series. Like I said, the story was really good. I actually enjoyed all the characters, like all the whole team. Like I actually memorized some of their names. I forget how fucking young they were. Like they were kids, but then they were also like there was later in the series like the pregnancy stuff, and I was like, whoa, these are like they're 14 and she's pregnant. What the fuck?
Yeah.
There's like, I'm glad actually, like as far as like it was this beginning of the series felt kind of immature, which is perfect for Trigger. Because there was like the sexual innuendos and the jokes and like the very clear like hold on to the controls, and she's like sweating and she's like, I got this, and like you're clearly fucking in this cockpit. Like, whatever. Like she like the from the ass forward, like that whole thing. I was like, all right, I get it. You know, this is the thing. But I feel like they got past that a little bit. Like I didn't see those moments as stand out. Like, oh, this is just lewd.
Yeah.
as much as I got drawn into the story itself.
Yeah, you
Like
became desensitized to the sexualization of the actual mechs.
Yeah, because at first it was so upfront, it's so obvious, and like the story was just picking up. But when the story actually got good, the story overshadowed the lewdness of the series, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
because it was lewd as fuck, and
Yeah,
that's
I
just
was-
a testament to how good the story was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was taken back on the first couple episodes. I was like, "What the fuck did you get us to watch, Tom?" And then like they're pistil and stamen, which are the two sexual reproductive organs on flowers, and I'm like, "This is what."
They're 14.
Like these are children, and they're. I don't know what the fuck is. And then, like you said, like you just become desensitized to it.
Yeah.
And you start to be more focused on the story and the actual mech fighting and that kind of stuff.
And I don't
which
know
was
if it,
still lit too.
Yeah, I
Like,
really don't know if it stopped being as lewd or the story just got way better up to that point. Like I don't know if it actually like they took away from the lewdness and focused more on the story, or the story was actually so like it was just lewd through and through. But I was just so involved with the story, and with Hiro and Zero Two and everybody else's struggles and the weird love triangles that kept popping up.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think it's genuinely a desensitization. Like it's not like a you were focused on something else. It's just you just accepted it for what it was mentally and just didn't pay attention to that because of the other stuff the new stuff that was
that's
happening.
again a testament to how good everything
Exactly.
else was around it.
Exactly,
Because
yeah.
most of the time I see the lewdness and it just keeps popping up. And I was like, you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
It pops up and I'm just like, I could go without this. But like the series, I just love the story so much. I was like, all right, cool, next episode.
Yeah.
You know, nothing stood out, and I'm just like, ugh. You know?
Yeah, you're a little priss when it comes to that kind of
Not
stuff.
a little priss, but if it doesn't help anything, then there's no point.
Should we
to
bring
it.
up Rent a Girlfriend here?
Yeah, that shit was awful. Bring it back up. Part 2 right now. Fuck that show. And fuck it's season 2.
Exactly.
The like Darling in the Franxx, I fucking loved the show. I loved it. It was really good. It was probably my second favorite to Kill la Kill. And just because I enjoyed watching Kill la Kill as a show overall because of the art design and everything else. It was funny. It was great. Characters were cool. But this is a very close second for me, honestly.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. I really liked the mech battles. I thought that was really cool. And then I'm like a sucker for like this slice of life stuff. Like
same.
the children's, you know, dynamic with how they interacted with each other, and then when they were essentially like segregated from the rest of the population as parasites, and they live together and grow together, and then because they're the special group, like they start to develop feelings and emotions and stuff, and seeing that all kind of blossom
I love
to
the
what
episode.
it ended up with.
I love the episode when they taped off the house.
Yep, that was I love that.
Like,
too,
that
dude.
was such a
Yep.
good episode.
Yeah, that was so
it was
good.
so fun. 'Cause
02 was just like, fuck this line.
Yeah, yeah. 02 was like, "Hey, this is lame." The girl was like, "You had to join us." She was like, "All right, I got shit else to do."
And then proceeded to
She
instigate
just
everyone.
fucked it all up. I was like, "Oh, this is so good."
Yeah.
I did love that. I love the 02 learning to be human moments, when she's actually like acclimating to the other children, and she's like laughing and playing with them, and like actually bonding with. Like, I really did enjoy those moments too.
Yeah.
They felt so genuine.
Yeah, especially like in the beginning, you see how like carefree and rebellious she kind of is, and then you start to see her kind of act more of a child, like throughout the thing, or more like the children, if anything.
Because that girl had some fucking trauma.
Exactly.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
Like,
And
she
then
was
yeah,
literally
and then
tortured
you learn,
for her childhood.
Yep. And then you learn the backstory about
Which
about-
that show got me a couple times. It got me choked up a couple times. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
It
her
was like-
story was sad.
It was sad as fuck, and I felt bad because I love 02's character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was so great. Like the moments where she's like happy and joking around, the moments when she's like all sad and like she's like, "I'm a fucking monster." I'm like, I was feeling it, dude. It was so good.
When Hiro called 02 a monster,
And she was like, "This is a punishment." And I was like,
like, you know, like that's the worst thing you could say to her, and like all she does is want to talk to you right now, and like your friends are not letting that happen, so she beats them up, and then you're like, "Oh, bitch, you're a monster." It's like, how dare you?
"Yeah, you son of a bitch, understand her." God damn it.
Yeah.
Also, the love triangles were really strange because it was funny. Like when Ichigo kissed Hiro. And then later on, I think Goro was like, "We're siblings." And Ichigo, and Hiro was like, "Yeah, we're siblings." So I was like, "So you kissed your sister, dog?" He was like, "Yeah, we're siblings." Yeah, never mind that kiss stuff that we did. Like, they just like totally glossed over that. Like, what are y'all? Because again, later on in the series, fucking Mitsuru and Kokoro fucked. Which they're 14.
Yeah.
and she got pregnant. So like, what is the dynamic? I guess.
Well, they're also like genetically modified clones.
Because then
too.
also by the end of the series, when they're adults, Goro and Ichigo fucked. So then she's pregnant, but at least by that time she's an adult.
Yeah.
So it was really weird. Like, are y'all family or are
No,
y'all
they're
just
not.
really close
Well,
people because
yeah.
they breast the family stuff? Because then you look at like Miku and
Zorome?
Zorome. Yes, they have like a strong sibling relationship. They just argue back and forth the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not family. They're not.
I know they're not blood relation, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like
I mean,
They-
when
they
you're,
s-
they're the only people that you've like known your entire life, so
might as well fuck them.
Well, they don't know what that is.
I
You know what I
know.
mean? So and they're not supposed to have emotions. They were literally a specialized group. They were one of a kind. So
I just thought that was really funny.
yeah. I mean, if you look at it in the real world, sure, yeah, absolutely. That's really weird.
You don't understand how it's wrong to kiss your sister, Hero, but it's all right.
Most anime is that way when you start to look at it in the real world. Okay.
It just struck me as odd, and I
Yeah.
was like, this is like unintentionally funny because it
Yeah.
was another moment where they're like getting over some shit and their bonds are growing stronger, but it was like y'all kissed.
Yeah.
Like y'all don't understand it, but it's weird. Maybe because they were confused because they didn't know what love is. They didn't understand what kissing was. So maybe like Ichigo clearly from this jump always had feelings for Hiro.
Mm-hmm.
So her kissing him was clearly a romantic, like, kind of. It wasn't like I love you, brother. It was, well, it could have been in a sense.
Well, I don't think so either. I don't, because at that point they didn't know that kissing was
A
romantic.
yeah.
They at least Ichigo thought that kissing him would make him be able to perform. So that's why. Literally.
Yeah.
Literally that was the
it.
innuendo. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So that's why she did that, because she wanted him to succeed. And then they framed it like, you know, videography lies or
Videography lies. Play that again. Yeah.
videography lies.
And that was also in the beginning where everything was really kind of still lewd and awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they had the mech battle between Zorome, Miku, and Ichigo and Hiro to see if he could actually pilot the Franxx. Like when they fell and Miku was like, "Come on, Zorome, get it up!" and he was like, "I'm trying." And I was like, "Oh Jesus, guys, come on."
Yeah.
She's all sweaty. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Gee, that was that heavy shit. Like, this is funny, but like, dear God,
Yeah.
y'all cannot be more obvious with this shit. Like, it's not any kind of hidden.
Mm-mm.
It's again, they know what they're going for,
Yep.
but didn't hold back. Didn't stop me from liking it.
No, I still loved it through and through.
I know.
It took me like a couple episodes to get desensitized to the very obvious innuendos that they were doing, but it was still fantastic.
The Nines becoming fodder was kind of off to me a little bit, story wise, because they were like the like secondary villain, like they were just like secondary antagonists to the Squad 13.
They were the mercenaries for Papa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were the little shithead snitches.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hated the Nines, and then like the end of the series, they're all dying and like withering away and shit, and they're just like, yeah, we want to go out fighting, and Hiro like cares for them, and it's like, this is weird. They were assholes the entire series, especially to Zero Two, and then by
Yeah.
the end, he's actually caring that like the fucking one dies. I get it. I mean, like, I get it, but it was still odd. Like, I was like, fuck that guy. I'm glad he's dead. Fuck that kid.
Yeah. I mean,
They were Papa's little
retribution and
bitches,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
then Papa betrayed him. I was like, that's what y'all get.
Yeah.
Stupid little bitch. Now y'all are dying. I didn't like them.
That's what happens when you don't have emotions.
They were mean to Zero Two.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't like them. That was like similar to like Gurren Lagann, where it's like you had all these other characters that have kind of like been on the fringes for the
Mhm.
entire show, and then it comes to that like the big final battle at the end, and just like you're gonna die, and you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I didn't even know their names at that point. I knew the blonde haired kid from the Nines that like occasionally also got horns,
Mm-hmm.
and then that was it.
I mean, all the Nines had horns when they were piloting the Franxx.
Yeah.
Did they all grow them? Because I only
They
remember,
they weren't real horns. They were like the light horns.
Yeah, I only remember seeing the one kids. I didn't remember seeing everybody else.
They all did.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I hated them, and I'm glad he's dead. Don't be mean to Zero Two. Here, I can take your leave.
Fair enough.
I also thought the like kind of climate change message at the end was kind of like forced in there too.
Yeah. They instead of using energy from the earth, instead of using the magma energy that belonged to the other creatures, they use wind power.
The Klaxosaurs, also known as dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Stop using the dinosaur energy.
Again, guys, we get it. Also, like I guess it was not necessarily railing against like the child tax, like how like basically the elite were able to become immortals and were unaffected, but the poor people like they started like imposing a child tax to make it harder for them to have kids because they were trying to leave the reproduction behind. I guess there were a lot of little messages like throughout. That wasn't just another one, just like
I don't
the
think
elite buying their way to a better future while fucking over the lower class.
Yeah, I don't think that was as much propaganda as it just is just a standard model that you can use for that kind of a situation.
Well, it's not propaganda. It's more so just like, oh, that's a thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Y'all had that in there too. That's cool.
Yeah.
I just saw it and picked up on it, and I was like, oh yeah.
I also feel that's kind of like a commentary on like Japan, like as a society right now, because of like the decreasing birth rates and stuff that's going on. So,
are they going immortal?
In a sense.
You said decreasing birth rates, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Overall, I really did enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fun. It definitely had some really nice story moments. The story overall was really good.
Yeah.
The story moments that actually hit, and I was like, oh, I'm really in tune with these characters. Like, I'm feeling it. I feel bad for them. Like, I'm happy when they're happy. Like, that shit is always a good point.
Yeah, the attachment that you have for the children is what runs the story, basically.
Exactly, and it did a really good job. Like, I actually gave a fuck what happened to them. Mm-hmm. Like, seeing them happy, and like those moments where I'm just sitting there watching, I realize I'm smiling when they're laughing, and I'm just like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I like this. This is nice.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Yeah. So it was a good one. It was a really good one.
So I'm not sure if you guys watched any of the credits or anything, or were paying attention to that, but in the beginning of the show, it credited Trigger and A1 Pictures instead of Cloverworks, because Cloverworks used to be a sub studio of A1 Pictures, but then they changed their name and then left A1 Pictures, and then towards the end of the show they put Cloverworks into the credits and stuff.
I do remember seeing Cloverworks in the credits, like towards the end.
I just didn't remember.
I just didn't remember seeing it at the beginning. I knew I saw Cloverworks in the credits at some point.
Yeah. I really only remember seeing Trigger. Yeah. That was the only one that popped out to me. I think I forgot that Cloverworks. You said that Cloverworks did that one, so I wasn't paying attention to anything other than I was like, oh, Trigger, look at that. Okay, go get back.
Since you guys seem to hate Cloverworks so much, let's watch a bunch of Cloverworks shows.
Whoa!
I don't hate Cloverworks, okay?
You's a bitch.
I only hated their season 2s. So if we watch the first season of them, I'm cool.
Well, the shows we're watching only have one season.
Perfect.
Woo!
And sometimes movies that go with them.
Perfect.
Sick.
That's what I'm nervous about. I'm just kidding. No, I forget what was it. What was the most recent one that we did other than
Shadow's House?
Yeah, is that the one? Yeah, that one made me feel less worried about Cloverworks.
So our next show is going to be Horimiya, which came out winter last year, and it is a rom-com / kind of slice of life-ish thing.
Yay.
Tight.
I like these.
Yes. So we have Hori and Miyamura, which makes Horimiya.
Mm-hmm.
So Hori she's like a more popular girl, blah, blah, blah. She's like very friendly and whatnot at school. And you have Miyamura, who is more of like the loner type and doesn't really talk with anyone, doesn't really have any friends. And then they run into each other outside of school, and it turns out that Hori is like outside of school. She's like very motherly to her younger brother because her mom's always at work and her dad doesn't live at the home. And Miyamura is like he has like piercings and tattoos and stuff, so it's very not what they show at school. And then they blossom into a relationship, which in this series starts happening way sooner than in other romance anime. Whereas like in other shows, the confession and stuff will happen at the very end, where this one happens like towards the beginning / middle.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So there's
So
actually like steady content of them like actually being in a relationship, like steady episodes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
okay.
That's interesting.
So it's based off of building the relationship, getting into it, and then staying into it.
Yeah. And then there's also like their friends who like, come in and like have their own crushes and stuff like that within different groups, and they make more friends and whatnot. And so, yeah.
Yay, rom-com. I like these.
Do you?
They're happy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like slice
Okay.
of life and
I wasn't
rom-com
sure
stuff.
if you were being sarcastic or not.
No, not at all, dude. Look back. Look at all the love I've given to rom-coms.
That's fair.
Not Run a Girlfriend.
Sad face. But yes, this one is very doki doki. It's the sound of like a heartbeat.
Okay.
My man, thank you.
Okay, because I was like, the only reference I have is literature club. I fucking hope not.
Oh God!
I was like, dear God, Tom, you son of a bitch.
She's taking over.
I don't want that.
Shit.
Sweet.
It'll be nice to go to like more of a laid back. I feel like
Camp.
yeah, laid back camp was like pretty chill.
Yeah.
That's fair. I was trying to think of.
Is it like 13 episodes, like the story's over?
Yes.
Or is it? Oh, so okay, cool. I like that too. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! I get a full story in 13 episodes. That's fun and happy and romancy.
Is this a Cloverworks original thing, or
Nope.
is it based off a manga?
Off the manga.
Cool, sweet. I'm equally as excited.
There's always some factors I have to determine.
Yep.
All right, friends, that's all we got for today. Let us know what you thought of Darling in the Franxx and of the episode itself. And don't forget to subscribe for more otaku goodness.
Yes, please. Don't forget to share.
And like all our stuff.
Is that what we do?
This fucking guy. I fuck it up one time and suddenly he doesn't know what's going on. Jesus Christ.
I told you, my brain is mush right now, okay? Give me the benefit of the doubt.
Unreal. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, friends. Sayonara.
Bye.
Smoochies.